Is the Bilt credit card worth having in your wallet? So a lot of people have been asking me about the Bilt credit card. Mike, why don't you review it? Why don't you talk about it? Well, I want a credit card that is first on the market to do something that's revolutionary. I want to give it time to actually be out there on the market, that it has a bunch of, card holders, and it's been through the ringer. So it's been more than a year since the Bilt credit card came out. I believe it came out between October 2021, something like that. It had a pre-release, they had a limited release, and then they invited a bunch of big creators out to an island. And this is their way to entice creators. Hey, why don't you get our credit card? Why don't you talk about it? So I wanted to give it enough time for it to be out on the market before I commented it or talked about it. And I didn't want to promote it either because I didn't really know how the card was going to really fare out there in the real world, because these credit card companies release these credit cards and they're really not prepared for all of the situations. As much as we'd like to think that a financial institution is going to be ready, they never are. So the huge hype around this credit card is that you can earn points for paying your rent with this credit card. This credit card is designed to allow you to pay your rent, but it comes with some caveats. You have to make a minimum of 5 purchases to even qualify to pay your rent with this credit card. And the good thing is there's no fee that is attached to you using this credit card to make your rental payment for your rental home or your rental apartment, whatever it may be. There's this huge hype around this credit card, like you can earn points so you can travel for free with this credit card. But a credit card that just came to inception, you have to think about, okay, with those points, where can I travel to? Who can I use those points with? Did anybody really ask that question? Nah, not really. Before we get into talking about the traveling features and stuff like that, let's talk about the main meat and potatoes of this credit card, okay? So it comes with 0 annual fee. So basically, it's a free credit card to have in your wallet to help you get 1x points on rent payments without the transaction fee. I believe you have to create like some type of rental payment portal inside of Bilt, and then that's how it doesn't count as a transaction fee when you try to process it. They built some system behind it. You get 2x points on travel that is booked inside of the app, I believe, okay? Then you get 3x points on dining and 1x points on other purchases. Earn points when you make 5 transactions that post each statement period. So hear that right there. Earn points when you make 5 transactions that post each statement period. So even to just get points, you have to have more than 5 transactions a month. So that's kind of tricky. Like, I've never heard of credit cards doing that. Usually you get a credit card, you stack points, you make points. I mean, it's just that simple. There doesn't have to be any crazy transactions, or you don't have to meet minimum transaction requirements with a lot of other credit cards. So that was a caveat when I read that. I was like, okay, that's really interesting. But moving on, I found something very interesting when I was perusing this credit card, okay? Before, I was considering getting this because I was like, ooh, maybe they'll do like a mortgage thing, which they're supposed to be working on, okay? But this is interesting. So, of course, we know, let's put it up on the screen, earn points on rent at any apartment without a transaction fee. We already know that. Now, here's the kicker. Get double points on the first. Earn even more on rent day with 6x on dining, 4x on travel, and 2x on purchases except for rent. So you mean to tell me that whoever built the Bilt credit card didn't think about the fact that the majority of Americans pay their rent and then they're sitting idle? Not a lot of Americans have money left over because rent is at an astronomical high right now, okay, across the entire United States. So if I go dine out on rent day and I book some travel, I'm going to make more points. Why not make it where you make more points all the time and then you could really crush the competition? But that would be too easy, and this is going to kind of complicate things for the users because remember, you have to have at least 5 transactions in order to even start stacking and building points. So if you just make your rental payment, you're not going to get points, and you're not going to stack like this with this bonus. All right, so let's talk about the card's benefits besides the whole points for rent, okay? Travel benefits and features. Put it up on the screen. Trip cancellation and insurance protection. Trip delay reimbursement. Those are pretty standard with all major credit cards, okay? Auto rental collision damage waiver. That's very interesting how they put damage waiver, okay? It's not insurance, extended insurance, it's damage waiver. So you might want to dig into that one. I'm not going to, but you need to. No foreign currency conversion fee and lift credits. Now, what I did not see is purchase protection, and I did not see an extended warranty for any of the purchases you make with this credit card. To me, that's a huge deal because you want your purchase to be protected and you want that extended warranty whenever you make any major purchases or any appliances or cell phones or anything like that if you're going to use this credit card for that feature. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. That way you find out every time I drop new content, you're going to hear about it first, okay? Now, if you want me to talk about specific things, like this Bilt card that everyone's been asking for, okay, drop it in the comments. Tell me in the comments. Drop some emojis. You know, talk about how you feel about the video. We want to get the algorithm going so this video can get out to more people, okay? So do me a solid by doing that. Also, make sure to hit that bell notification. That way you find out every time we go live or anytime we drop new content. You're going to hear about it first, okay? Now, if you're looking to work on your credit, we are a full-service credit management company. We created the most advanced do-it-yourself program in the industry to work on your credit. For $50 a month, we're going to create your custom Metro to Attack letters. We're going to email them to you. You print them, you mail them, and you're done. It's just that simple. You don't have to learn how to be an expert. You don't have to do any of that nonsense. We cut all that nonsense out. You can find my link in the description. All my trusted links will always be in the description. Unless you ask for it in the comments, I'll drop it to you there. But you can always find my trusted links in the description. We also offer a full service Metro to Attack program. We also offer a full service pre-litigation program that's designed to sue, okay? We also offer a identity theft program for people that actually have real identity theft issues, okay? And always remember, last part's the most important. So I saw something else that's very interesting, okay? I'm going to put it up on the screen here. It says, redeem the most valuable rewards. So again, redeem the most valuable rewards. Bilt points ranked as the most valuable reward points above American Amex membership rewards and Chase Ultimate Rewards by Bankrate.com. All right. Now, when somebody makes a claim like that, I'm like, you're trying to go after the two biggest top dogs in the credit card world. So is it really true? I mean, are they? So on top of that, let's put this up on the screen also. These are the transfer partners that they have. You got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11. About 11 transfer partners. Not too bad. Not too shabby, okay? But that's not a lot of transfer partners compared to, let me put my master list up here. When you put all of these credit card companies up against that transfer list, there's a huge difference. How can you compare yourself to American Express and Chase when your transfer list is very minuscule compared to this list right here? Makes me question that, okay? So it's not very trustworthy of that statement that they made, but they're stating that a credit card review site said it. So they're walking that fine line there. So once a new card has come out on the market, I like to go digging. I'm going to go to Reddit. I'm going to go on Google. I'm going to look at every platform to see what type of complaints have been made and are they legitimate complaints. Because listen, there's a lot of people that complain about just about anything just because they can't do something properly. So you got to take everything with a grain of salt. But, okay, these complaints are very damaging. I'll put it up on screen. The BBB, the Better Business Bureau. Now, if you're not familiar with this, I don't trust anything that's on BBB because if you're an accredited BBB business, you have to pay to get that, okay? So they're not accredited, which is funny. But the people that go here are very dedicated into leaving very descriptive complaints. The biggest thing that I saw was when they transfer their points, they had issues transferring their points. Their points didn't transfer properly. There were lots of billing issues. But the number one complaint that I saw was the connection between Bilt and Wells Fargo was completely disconnected. The Bilt card was built, okay, and being backed by Wells Fargo. So you have Bilt and you'll have Wells Fargo. You have an issue with the Bilt card, then they send you to Wells Fargo. Then Wells Fargo says, oh, we fixed it. Then they send you back to Bilt. And then Bilt says, oh, no, it's not fixed yet. Let me send you back to Wells Fargo. It's a Wells Fargo nightmare. This card is backed by Wells Fargo. So that automatically, when I heard that when it first came out, I was like, oh my God. I was like, all these people are promoting this card that's backed by one of the worst banks in the banking industry. Listen, I'm not trying to be out here bad-mouthing any creators or any YouTubers, but at the end of the day, why would anybody think that Wells Fargo, the bank that's had so many bad things happen with class action lawsuits because they were opening accounts in people's names that they weren't aware of, opening credit cards without those people's permission, okay, doing all kinds of fraudulent activity over at Wells Fargo, why would we think this one credit card would be any different? No, it doesn't stop there, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, as of recently, I'll put it up on the screen. This is a Reddit thread, and it's been all over YouTube if you haven't seen it. Bilt was hit with all types of fraudulent charges. Somehow or another, someone got into their system. That was an internal job, okay? Whenever they say someone broke into our system, you know, one, what do you got? Like someone built your system with Legos or something? Like, why is your infrastructure not safe? Okay. So they got hit with all types of fraud charges. People were getting hit with fraudulent charges before they even got the card. So go dig and go look at these Reddit stories, man. It's pretty crazy. People that go on Reddit are very committed also. Okay. But it's been all over the news, you know, with these fraudulent activities on these cards. And then guess what? Wells Fargo doesn't want to fix it. They don't want to do anything. So Bilt has an issue, then they send them to Wells Fargo. Then Wells Fargo says, we can't fix it. Bilt has to fix it. They send them to Bilt. It's just it's a seesaw, and it's not okay for cardholders to be treated like that. This is a clear issue, and this is why I won't touch this card with a 20-foot pole. Listen, for legal reasons, okay, this is a disclaimer. We don't know 100% what has happened between Bilt and Wells Fargo and why the situation is teetering back and forth like that. This is all alleged accusation by cardholders, okay? They all seem to be the same cases, same issues. So there's a guy who made a video when he got his Bilt card. He was super excited about it, went to go pay his rent, and then it said it was fine. It took the payment, and then the payment never went through. So what does he have to do? He has to pay a late fee for his rent. Then he tries to go verify his account. Guess what? Wells Fargo said that it's been verified. Then he goes back to Bilt. Bilt says, oh, no, it hasn't been verified. He goes back to Wells Fargo. Then Wells Fargo says, we've done it. It's verified. Then he goes back. It's not done. So the guy wound up closing the account. He's like, yo, this is crazy. He even said, like, everyone was super nice at Wells Fargo and Bilt, but nobody was able to resolve these issues. So, like, why would I keep dealing with these problems? And this credit card that you have to use it 5 times to even be able to stack points for your rent. So, on top of all that, you got Wells Fargo mixed into the mix. This is a legal disclaimer for legal reasons. Now, we don't know what happened between Bilt and Wells Fargo, if this is all true. This is all alleged information that we found all over the interwebs, okay, of people with the same issues, billing errors, points errors, not being able to communicate back and forth between Bilt and Wells Fargo. It's all alleged, okay, people? We don't know. We can't verify it. But it all seems to be all having the same case, same scenarios, okay? Now, you put somebody into the mix like Wells Fargo, who had the largest settlement in American banking history, $3.7 billion settlement with the CFPB over consumer abuses. Now, what were the abuses, you ask? Tied to mortgages, auto loans, and overdraft fees. They were literally charging people these overdraft fees. They were repossessing cars, foreclosing on homes for people that were paying their bills on time. What? Yes, that happened. Now you have this same scenario happening with some of these Bilt customers that they're getting hit with these fraudulent charges that they did not make, and now they're being forced to pay them. If they don't pay them, then the card's going to charge off, and it's going to do damage to their credit files, and they're getting hit with late payments that are also damaging their credit files. So I'm going to tell you right now, this credit card right here, Bilt, gets an F. We don't want nothing to do with it. Subscribe to increase your credit score.